¿Qué pasa YouTube? How's it going? Nobody got for you guys today a really close Yu-Gi battle that I had against one of my followers on Twitter. At the time, I forget what his Twitter handle is, but I promise I will leave a link to it down in the description if you guys want to go ahead and check him out. And of course, if you guys do enjoy the battle, then make sure to hit the like button, guys. The support is greatly appreciated, much like I always say. So if you do enjoy this, let's try to get 300 likes or more. And actually, I'm going to be trying some different audio settings for my Wi-Fi battle, so let me know if this sounds better, because I did the same thing for my previous Wi-Fi battle, so let me know how this sounds. And of course, when this is going up, I'll be in Florida, so that's why there's only every other day uploads for this week. I know you guys don't mind, but just I thought I'd bring it up again. And looking at my opponent's team, he has a very interesting team. When I first saw it, I thought that he was going to lead off with Frostlass to get up spikes. Then once that died off, he was going to bring on Shuckle to get up rocks and Sticky Web. So thinking that he would lead off with the Frostlass, I decided to lead off with my Manchow because I could U-turn on out into my Obama Snow, knock it out, then be able to defog with Mew later in the battle. So that's basically my mindset going into this battle. Looking at threats though, his Lucario could actually be a major problem if I allow it to get up a Swords Dance, so I'm definitely going to have to watch out for that. And I'm using a very fun team, as you saw. So as I said, I'm going to be leading off with my Manchow, but he actually ends up leading off with the Blastoise. Now unfortunately, I cannot OHKO Blastoise even though I am reckless. Plus, he does have a Frostlass, so I don't want to go straight for the high jump kick. And he knows this, so he really has nothing to fear by just Mega Evolving as I get a crit turn 1. Honestly, the extra damage from the crit does not end up playing a role whatsoever, as you'll see near the end of this battle. And I'm going to bring in my Mew. Even if he burns me with the Scald, I'll be able to synchronize it over, so that would actually be kind of good for me. And knowing that most Mega Blastoise don't run enough speed to outspeed Mew, I stay in and I go for the soft build. And yeah, he turns out to be faster than me. Actually, no, I didn't go for soft build. I believe I went for Will-O-Wisp. Then next turn I was going to go for soft build, but he unfortunately ends up getting a flinch, which I guess is kind of payback for the crit U-turn, but the crit U-turn damage doesn't matter, and it would have been really nice for me to have Mew in this game. But yeah, he has a fast Mega Blastoise. I've never seen that until I had this battle. So I'm going to bring in my Victini, and I'm going to make a rather aggressive play because I lost my Mew. If he gets up Sticky Web and Stealth Rocks with Shuckle, they will be here for the remainder of the battle, putting me at a grave disadvantage. So I decided to go straight for the Choice Banded V-Crate as he does switch out into Shuckle, thinking I would go for the Bolt Strike. I'm going to be able to easily 2KO that, and after taking the first V-Crate, Shuckle wouldn't have had a chance to get up Web or rocks later in the battle anyway, so his best play to do was to just fodder it off, which means now I no longer have to worry about rocks or Sticky Web, although he still has Frostlass, which could get up spikes, which could be a little bit annoying, so gonna have to watch out for that. As he brings in the Tornadus, I don't want to take a possible knockoff, so I switch directly into my Suicune. As he ends up getting up the substitute, he then goes for the knockoff, and the reason why I didn't want to bring in my Hippowdon is because Hippowdon is especially defensive, plus I know that Tornadus sometimes like to carry taunt, and my only offensive move on Hippowdon is Earthquake, so I knew that Suicune being my main physical wall will be my best switch in. As I believe he goes for the bulk up, I get really lucky and I get a burn with a Scald, and I don't think the burn actually matters, although it is going to enable me to 2KO him. I could have got the Scald burn with this Scald. I know I said Scald twice, but I could have got the burn with the second Scald, so yeah, the 30% chance is pretty high, and Scald is broken, let's all be perfectly honest here. So he brings in the Kingdra. I do not want to allow him to get up a free focus energy, so I make an aggressive switch into my Victini so I could go for a Bolt Strike, as he ends up going straight for the Draco Meteor. Luckily, because Victini is pretty bulky with 100 base stats across the board, I'm going to be able to live the hit and in return get off a solid amount of damage before he's able to knock me out with the Hydro Pump as he gets a crit. That obviously did matter, so it would have been nice to keep Victini. No, I'm being sarcastic, guys. I'm joking, trust me. So I bring in my Manchow. Unfortunately, I'm going to be forced to go for knockoff because if I jump kick or high jump kick, he can bring in Frostlass. If I U-turn, he lives. So I am forced to knock off as he brings in the Lucario. I'm expecting him to want to go for a Swords Dance, and even though my Hippowdon is especially defensive, I should be able to live a +2 close combat and in return knock him out with Earthquake, but he makes a very nice play. He ends up double double switching out into his Blastoise, predicting my Hippowdon switching, and I am kind of in a bad position because I want to be able to keep this Hippowdon at as much HP as possible so I can live a possible boosted hit from Lucario. So I decided to switch directly into my Abomasnow, basically as death fodder, because I don't really see it doing much in this battle as he ends up going for the Scald. Luckily for me, he's not going to get the burn, which means next turn I can Mega Evolve, go for the Ice Shard, get off maybe 5-10% amount of damage, but he actually ends up switching directly out into Frost Slash, which automatically told me, alright, so he doesn't have Aura Sphere, which means he probably had Scald, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, and Rapid Spin, so I could have easily gone for the Wood Hammer or Giga Drain this turn, as I'm just going to stay in and I'm going to go for the Wood Hammer, knowing that if he does go for Destiny Bond, it will be a double down, but I also want to prevent him from getting up too many layers of spikes. So he does end up going for the Destiny Bond, as he's going to take me down with him, which I'm perfectly fine with because he was not able to get up any form of hazard. As on the double down, I bring in my Manchow as he brings in the Blastoise. I believe at the amount of HP that he's at, I can knock him out with the high jump kick, but I really do not want to risk that. So I decided to switch into my Hippowdon, which this was honestly a borderline retarded, bad, humongously, tremendously bad play. And you're going to see exactly what I mean. Because what I should have done was foddered off my Suicune so I could still have Hippowdon. But what I was thinking was, okay, it'll be faster if I just fodder off Hippowdon and then I can just bring in Manchow, right? So that's basically my thought process right now as he gets another useless crit there. So after all that damage, at the amount of speed that's at, I can indeed knock him out with a jump kick. The reason why I have jump kick and high jump kick is because this was a no choice band in Manchow set, so I'd like to have both. So I'm able to knock out the Blastoise. Now jump kick has a 5% chance to miss, which means if I had missed jump kick here on Lucario, he could have knocked me out next turn with another extreme speed, set up a Swords Dance on my Suicune, and basically beat me one-on-one. As where if I had foddered off Suicune, it would have come down to my Hippowdon against his Lucario, and I would have been able to live any hit and in return knock him out with the Earthquake. So he actually did kind of technically have a 5% chance to win the battle, and let's be honest, there was no chance of me burning him with Scald. So yeah, I should have honestly just foddered off Suicune instead of Hippowdon, but just I guess in the end it did work out. It's just that that was still just not my best play to do and just a really bad play in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the really fun UU battle, and if you guys missed my previous Wi-Fi battle, then a link to that will be on your screen in the form of an annotation, so go check that out. And if you missed my upload from Monday, then check that out, and my next upload will be Friday. Then starting next Monday, guys, I should be back to daily uploads. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully everybody is enjoying your week. And if you did enjoy this, make sure to hit the like button, as I've already mentioned. And yeah, later, everybody.